WLTL. I'm your host, Leilani. I bet you guys have been wondering where WLTL has been. Well, we are reformatting our show to do it whenever we have an interview. So that's a new format of our show, and I hope you are happy. And so that's what you want, guys, just the interviews, right? So let's get on with the show. Now I'd like to introduce our guest, Miss Betsey Brewer from Southwick Zoo. Welcome, Betsey.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for coming to the zoo.
You're very welcome. I know you're very intelligent about rhinos, so can you please tell us all about rhinos?
I would love to, because I love talking about rhinos. It's one of the things that I'm the most passionate about. Unfortunately, for all species of rhinos, they are becoming critically endangered. They're all endangered now, but it's getting worse. It's really sad. And I like to tell people about rhinos so they will tell people about rhinos.
Some people say that rhinos' horns have healing powers, but you don't have to kill them to get their horns.
Right. That is a big problem today because people are poaching the rhinos for their horns for medicine. And the rhino horn doesn't work in medicine at all. Unfortunately, you can't take the horn from the rhino without having to intervene somehow. You would have to either knock the rhino down with drugs, and in the case of the people poaching them, they actually kill them, which is really, really sad.
Can you please tell us all how old a rhino could grow?
How a rhino can grow? Well, when they're born, they weigh about 150 pounds, up to 150 pounds. A normal weight is about 70 or 80 pounds, depending upon the rhino. And here at Southwick Zoo, we have white rhinos. And we met them down at the rhino habitat because we do rhino encounters here as well. A rhino encounter is where people come and they pay money to visit with our rhinos, and they get to meet them and they get to touch them, because we believe that if that happens, if you do that and you get close to the animal, you're going to love it and you're going to care about it. And you're going to do something to help the animals out in the wild.
That's a very thoughtful thing to do.
They're pretty impressive, aren't they? This one right here, this is Louise. Louise weighs over 4,000 pounds.
Whoa, that's a lot of pounds.
That's a lot of pounds. She's an African rhinoceros. She's a white rhino. There's two species of African rhinoceros, and this is one of them. And you can tell the differences between them because she has a mouth that goes straight across like that. She did like a lawnmower of a mouth. So she eats the grass. The other one, the black rhino, has a prehensile lip, meaning that it grabs the vegetation from the trees and the shrubs and the bushes. Now sometimes Thelma, who's coming out now, will get jealous of Louise and push her out of the way. Now this is where we do rhino encounters at Southwick Zoo. So we teach people about rhino conservation and the problems with poaching and their habitat, as well as what's happening to them out in the wild. This is Louise, and that is Thelma. You want to touch her?
Mm-hmm.
Reach your hand right out through the bars and you can touch her. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl.
She feels soft.
And she feels soft. Her skin is actually thick and it's kind of rough, but they can get sunburned. So they'll roll in the mud, and that's how they put their sun lotion on, by mud. Now when it's not so cold out and they're out here and I rub them, sometimes they curl their tails and stick their legs out.
Can you please tell the viewers and me about all the fun things you have here?
Well, there's a lot going on at Southwick Zoo. I think probably one of the most popular attractions that we have here is a place that's called Deer Forest. And it's 35 acres and you can walk in and feed the deer. And that's really popular. People like that a lot.
I've been there before. It's very fun.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
And we also have a really cool train ride where it goes through a wetlands habitat and you learn about the wetlands and how to save them. we have another really cool thing, and that is called the Skyfari Sky Ride. And you'll have to take a ride on that. You go over about a third of the zoo, and you can see such animals as the ostriches and the oryx and the water buffalo, as well as the chimpanzees and the ring-tailed lemurs. And your last stop on the Skyfari is going over the North American alligator. So that's really neat.
Can you tell us all about the rides?
We have rides here. We have kiddie rides for small children, and they're a lot of fun as well. We also have a nonprofit organization called Earth Limited, and Earth Limited does a lot of conservation and educational topics and outreach programs for students and adults all over Massachusetts and Rhode Island.